Hello everybody, this is Prosper here, and today I wanted to make a video comparing the Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X. And I just wanted to do this video just because I have noticed recently a lot of people are starting to upgrade into the next gen consoles, and I just wanted to make this video so you can kind of get a comparison of the two consoles and know which one is a better choice for you right now when it comes to the two different versions of the Xbox. So first off, I'm going to go through some specs with you. On the Xbox Series X, it is the processor is rated for 12 teraflops compared to the Series S, the Series S's, and I'm going to get these X's and S's. You're going to be hearing a lot of it, so sorry if they kind of get jumbled together. I'm not the best at enunciating, but on the Series X, again, it is 12 teraflops, and the processor on the Series S is rated for 4 teraflops. So there is a big difference in processing power there, and obviously the Series X is more future-proof. Another big difference in the sacrifice of the $200 cheaper that the Series S comes in at $300 and the Series X at $500. A big sacrifice is you don't get a optical drive, and the optical drive, of course, on the Series X is rated at 4K, and on the Series X, the output is obviously true 4K at 120 FPS, and on the Series S, the output is 1440p or 2K at 120 FPS. So either way, you are getting a big jump in FPS compared to the last gen consoles, which in FPS games like Call of Duty, you will see a big difference right away, because that extra FPS will get you extra milliseconds in game that if a last gen console player comes running around a corner, you're gonna have a few milliseconds. Your eyes won't know it, but you will have a few milliseconds of advantage compared to the last gen console players, which is nice, and it will help you compete with PC players that are rocking 240 frames per second, because once you get up into those 240 frames FPS PCs, those things are beasts, and it makes a huge difference in games like Call of Duty. But these next gen consoles, for the price point that it does come in, I will admit they are a pretty good deal. The one drawback to the Series S is it only has a 512 gigabyte SSD, and that's before you actually count in the fact that the operating system takes up over 100 gigabytes of space out of it. So really, I think it's like 350 or 360 gigabyte SSD you get after you count in the operating system and what space that takes up. So that does kind of stink, because you know how big Call of Duty is now. It's like 80 gigabytes, and just having Cold War, Modern Warfare, Warzone, and the beta for Vanguard on my Xbox Series S, that alone has basically taken up all the space off my console, to where any big games that are more than 50 FPS, or not FPS, but more than 50 gigabytes, I can't put on here anymore. So it's basically maxed out already for me at 2 games and a beta. So that does kind of stink, and I will admit I will have to buy the expandable storage that they do have. In 1 second, I'm gonna take a drink of water. My mouth has been dry all day today. That's good water. But anyways, back to the point. The Xbox Series S, you can buy an expandable SSD for it that has the same velocity architecture that the internal SSDs in both consoles use, but it does come at a pricey, pretty pricey price point, and that's at a little over $200. I believe it's like $225 or something. I'm going off the top of my head just because I've already read all this information a while back, and so I'm kind of paraphrasing it off the top of my head. But that SSD, it is pretty pricey. I believe it is a 1 terabyte SSD though, and again, it uses the same technology that they have on the internal SSD, which I do think makes it worth it, because it does help those quick resume games where you can just instantly open it and be back in the game. For example, when I shut off the Series S and turn it on, from turning it on to getting into Warzone takes about 10 to 15 seconds for me, and you really can't beat that time. It just helps a ton. And by the way, sorry if you just heard a sound in the background and it got all noisy compared to the rest of this video. My AC kicked on and it's crazy loud here, so if the back of this video has that AC sound, I apologize. But anyways, whenever you compare these consoles, the big difference I think will come in the form that the Xbox Series X right now, you can't really go and buy it at Walmart or at Target, and that's the reason I got the Series S, besides the fact that I only have a 2K gaming monitor that's 120 Hz, so it can only do 120 FPS, and right now I didn't want to spend that much money to drop $500 on a new console and drop another $200 to $300 on a decent gaming monitor that can support 4K 120 FPS. So I decided to get the Series S, since my monitor already can produce the full 2K at 120 FPS that the console can. So I get the full benefit of the console, I save $200, and I get to play on next gen, getting better FPS. And I do have a gaming PC, so I have played on PC before. I only use controller though. The main reason I'm not playing on PC right now is I need to get a new GPU, and with the prices of GPUs, I was like, I'm not going to drop 700 to 1,000 on a decent GPU when I could get a next gen gaming experience from an Xbox Series S for 300 bucks. And I think at that price point, it really does have a slight edge for me currently, but I'm sure in 2 or 3 years, the Xbox Series X will be the better deal because it is more future proof, like I said earlier. And I'm sure the Series S will start kind of falling behind, getting slower pretty quick in the next few years. So if you want to be more future proof, get the Series X, even if you don't have a monitor or a TV that can support the full 4K at the frames per second that it does produce. So that is my opinion on that. And I do think the Series S is a great deal right now, because when it comes to the PlayStation 5s or the Xbox Series X, you can't find them at the $500 price point, because scalpers have still completely bought all of them and they are selling them for like $700 to $1,000, and it is ridiculous. It's not worth buying one of these consoles at that price point. And you can go find a Series S right now at your local Target or Walmart easily. If you just check in every day for a week, one of those days you will find a Series S in there. And that's how I got mine. I just walked into Walmart and I was like, oh dang, they have 3 of these. And I asked about the Series X, and they're like, yeah, we probably won't be getting any of those for at least 4 or 5 more months. And I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna spend $300 on the Series S for now, and maybe upgrade if I feel like I need to. Instead of buying the SSD for the Series S, I may just save up an extra 250 bucks and resell this console myself, because I will admit, if you buy the Series S for the next year, you will be able to resell it for at least $250 to maybe even the full $300 price point if you sell it with any accessories that you have, like controllers and things like that. So I do think the Series S, in my opinion right now, for me is more worth it. But depending on what your situation is and how I explained everything, hopefully this helped you decide which one you want to get. But again, if you do get the Series S, just get it for like a year or two, resell it once you have some extra money saved up, and then go buy the Series X instead of getting the expandable storage, because then you get the more powerful console and the extra space. Anyways guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and subscribe for more, and bye.